In this video, we're going to look at how cooling towers work. By the end of the video, you will know why we need cooling towers, what the common cooling tower components are, and how cooling towers work. In the past, cooling could be provided by heat sinks, such as rivers, lakes, or cooling ponds. But these options are now less viable due to the tightening of environmental pollution legislation and rising cooling demands. Modern cooling towers require as little as 1 square foot of area to obtain the same cooling effect as 1,000 square feet of a natural heat sink. Cool cooling water is pumped from the cooling tower basin to the process. The cool cooling water is heated by the process and its temperature increases. The warm cooling water is then pumped back to the cooling tower to be cooled. As the water travels through the fill, some of it evaporates, which causes the remaining water to be cooled. This is the evaporative cooling effect we discussed earlier. The cool water that did not evaporate falls into the collection basin due to gravity, whilst the air continues its path upwards, through the drift eliminator, through the axial fan, then exits through the top of the tower. Drift eliminators consist of parallel blades arranged on the air discharge side of the tower to remove entrained water droplets from the exiting airstream. The shape of the drift eliminator requires the entrained water droplets to change direction several times prior to being discharged out of the tower. Fans are used to force or induce airflow through the cooling tower and are available in several different designs. The 3 most common fan designs are the axial, centrifugal and cross-flow types.